Well, this is something that we have to talk about because the rumors are increasing these days, of course, coming from the UK, Sky Sports, and all these people that they have, Martin Brundle, Eddie Jordan, Damon Hill. They have been discussing the possibility of this, what you see on screen, happening. Let's talk about Lewis Hamilton and his situation right now. After the Bahrain Grand Prix, apparently there has been some, let's call it snapping from Lewis Hamilton against his own team, Mercedes, for not giving him the car to try to challenge his 8th world title. World Championship, however you want to call it. The Red Bull is really superior to the team, but I think the thing that is hurting him the most is to see the green car of Aston Martin and Fernando Alonso humiliating the Mercedes car and him and George Russell, which is a client team, by the way, Aston Martin. Mercedes give them the power unit and all the rear suspensions and everything. All the rear powertrain is provided by Mercedes team. So the client team is superior to the official team. Not the first time that we see it, and probably not the only time that we will see it in history. We saw Red Bull being quite superior to Lotus or Renault in the past, when Renault was giving them the engine in the 2010s, when Sebastian Vettel was winning all the championships, right? So, is this actually a possibility of happening? Will Hamilton do what they call a Schumacher? Will he leave Benetton to try to go to Ferrari? So Lewis Hamilton, as we know, started with McLaren, which was Mercedes at the time, McLaren Mercedes, right? A team that sponsored him since he was in karting. All the formulas going up. He reached to F1 thanks to McLaren Mercedes, or McLaren, or Mercedes, anyway. They were a team. And then he he left when Mercedes made him an offer and gave him the, a zip of what could happen in the hybrid era, which we saw. Right? He left McLaren to go to Mercedes, and the rest is history, right? He won 6 world titles, if I'm not mistaken, after winning 1 title in 2008 with McLaren Mercedes. He left McLaren to go to Mercedes to win all the championships. And now that the team is not doing very well, looks like Hamilton, knowing that his career is at the end of its road, or getting to the end of its road. He's already 38, something like this. I don't think he will stay as long as Fernando Alonso did, for example, until he's like 40-something. He might try to actually do a Michael Schumacher, or Michael Schumacher, however you want to call him, and try to go Ferrari. Ferrari, by the way, which is a team that is not in its best situation either. I think they lack this leadership. I think it was Mattia Binotto saying that they lack this Schumacher mentality of winning. They don't have this winning mentality. They have Carlos Sainz, which is a fast driver, but it's not the fastest of the team. They have Charles Leclerc, which is the fastest driver of both of them. But I think not any of these 2 drivers is able to bring the team forward to try to correct the course or whatever. I think they need somebody with a leadership, perhaps like Hamilton, with experience and everything, to try to bring the car, finally giving that step to the front, right? They were closed last year. They were closed last year, but we saw many mistakes, not only from the drivers, from the team, and everything. Is Hamilton an option? If Hamilton goes to Ferrari, who would be the one let go? I don't think it would be Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is the prodigy, like the chosen one by Ferrari, right? They had him in the academy since he was really young, going up the ranks until he reached Ferrari. He's still young. He has the future. The future is his in Ferrari, right? He made Binotto leave. thanks to the pressure. He brought Vasseur. Well, they brought Vasseur perhaps to try to make him happier, right? Vasseur is somebody who already worked with Leclerc before. Both drivers in Ferrari have a contract for 2024, by the way, Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. So, would they let go any of these two drivers? I think, actually, if they let any of these two drivers leave, would be Carlos Sainz. I don't think money is a problem in Ferrari. If Hamilton would be to join Ferrari, probably Carlos Sainz would be the damaged one, right? The sacrificed one. I don't think they would bring Schwartzman, for example, to the picture. He's too young. He's out of competition because he's a Russian. He has a Russian passport. But anyway, Ferrari, by the way, is a car that has a problem with tire degradation. The same problem that Hamilton faced when he reached Mercedes in 2013. They destroyed the tires. But even so, he was able to win one race. So he knows, more or less, what is needed in a car to try to fix this problem. Because the next season, 2014, the car didn't have this problem. So if Carlos Sainz is let go and Hamilton is brought in, first of all, you will have two equal one drivers, which I know Ferrari now says they have, which I don't think it is. It's very clear, and we saw it again in the Bahrain Grand Prix, that there was one driver that was much faster than the other one. What would happen to Carlos Sainz? Carlos Sainz would go to Mercedes, probably. It could be. Or would Mercedes go for Lando Norris, which is rumored as well, that could go to Mercedes if Hamilton retires. I don't think De Vries would go to Mercedes. I don't think it's the choice. The environment in Mercedes right now is a little bit toxic. With Toto Wolff and Hamilton having these discussions publicly, but anyway. So if this actually happens in the future, would not be the first thing that we would see somebody doing this kind of move. It's like if you see suddenly Max Verstappen leaving Red Bull after 8 years, whatever you want to call it, to try to go to another team to win, right? We saw, for example, in the past, Ayrton Senna leaving McLaren. I don't know if it was McLaren Peugeot, McLaren Ford, something like this, after 93, when he saw that the car was not good enough to challenge for the championship, and seeing how Alain Prost, after being one season out, came to the Williams and won the fourth world title. A fourth world title that Senna was not able to win because of his crash, right? When he went to Williams. The next season, when Alain Prost retired, he went to Williams, and after 3 races, we all know what happened. But he did it. He left McLaren, the team that gave him the possibility to win the championships. He left it to try to go to Williams and win the championship. Which, by the way, this car was challenging the championship until the end of the season with Damon Hill against Schumacher, right? In the Benetton. And we have the one that gives the name. We have Schumacher that arrived to F1 thanks to Eddie Jordan. Benetton breached the contract to bring him to the team. And 91 was it? Then we have 92, 93, 94 and 95. He was in Benetton. And then Ferrari came trying to give a new step forward to the team. And brought Schumacher as their, let's call, tip of the spear, right? The knight in shiny armor that would bring glory back to the team. Which he kind of did. Like the first season in 96, he won one race in Barcelona, for example. The Rainmaster, they called him because of this. With a car that was not close to even winning races. I think Schumacher found a car that was much worse than he expected. But anyway, they fixed the car for 97. He was disqualified when he was battling for the championship. 98, he had some mechanical issues that saw him, his title slipping away from his fingers. 99, he should have won, and 2000 he won. So it took some time, not always because of his fault, but he was able to challenge. And of course, it's not just a driver; you also need a team behind that give you the material to try to win the championship, right? And then, by the way, we also, as I mentioned before, Hamilton. He was in McLaren. Almost all his life, let's say it, like all his racing career, right? Starting from karting. And he left to Mercedes in 2013. So, what do you think? Might this actually happen? Will we see Hamilton in Ferrari in 2024? 25? Is it a chance? If Mercedes don't fix the car and then make it competitive again, can Lewis Hamilton actually leave behind the team that gave him now, let's say, all the world titles, almost, right? To try to go to another team to try to win the world championship, by the way, which would be completely normal, I think. There is loyalty in F1, but as well, a driver needs to look for their own benefits, right? And if Hamilton wants to be the best in history and win the 8th world title, should he leave to Mercedes? What do you think? I don't know why I don't see it happening, even though the people from the UK, like Brundle and Eddie Jordan, say that Hamilton's team is starting to perhaps get into contacts with Ferrari to see what's going to happen. I honestly don't think this is going to happen. I think the loyalty of Hamilton with Mercedes might be strong, and even though you have these discussions in public, first of all, I think Mercedes have the capability of fixing the car. I don't know if it's because they have the zero pole idea still fixed in their minds or not, or they will abandon it completely. They do have a plan B, by the way, as mentioned by some engineer from Mercedes. So, I don't know. I honestly don't think this is going to happen. I don't think Ferrari will let Carlos Sainz go. I think they have a decent pair. They have the fast driver and the consistent driver. The fast driver should be winning championships, while the consistent driver will win the races that the fast driver cannot win, which is the balance that you want in a team, right? The fast driver needs somebody behind that will push him to be fast, like Carlos Sainz. And you need a consistent driver who will be there to finish the races and score points behind the fast driver. Bringing Hamilton to the team, being the age that he has, I don't think is the solution either. Can Hamilton really develop the car to try to make it that final step? I don't think so. Could be, but I don't think so. Bringing Hamilton to the team would mean that either you are trying to burn 1 or 2 years until somebody that you really expect arrives to F1 and gets prepared, let's say, to give that final step to join Ferrari alongside Leclerc. But I don't see any driver right now that could do that. Ferrari has the young academy drivers, of course. They have Schwartzman, they have Armstrong. Binotto gave a lot of good praises to Schwartzman, for example. But will they put a Russian driver in Ferrari, seeing how the situation is right now? I think that would be shooting themselves in the foot. Even though for me it's kind of stupid doing this. So who would they put there? Would they go for Lando Norris to put next to Leclerc? I don't think Norris would like to join a team where you have to fight with somebody as fast as Leclerc. So they need a B driver. Who is a B driver? Who would join the team for that? Porsche? I don't know. This is just my opinion, of course. As always, I don't think this might happen. But if you have any comments about it, please leave it in the comment of the box. And of course, as usual, see you in the next time. We have a Grand Prix this weekend. So, see you tomorrow or Friday.